whatever is happening, you are part of it. And the creation is being done, and you are the creator too, literally. It's almost like that software that you have, like the game, the SimCity, where you actually manipulate and create your own city, how to operate this and that. So you are actively involved. And that is the grand scheme. The energy is just dancing, creating all this grand illusion, and you are part of it. So quantum physics says that so far at the macro level, at the big level, you could just watch an experiment and being an observer of the whole thing without affecting the experiment, but now it is changing. Your presence alone changes everything. So in meditation, the things change though, which the physicists did not have any idea. So they have come to this far that, okay, because our instruments are not sensitive enough and our instruments are dealing with such a delicate state that presence of those instruments itself changes everything. So we cannot go any further. But meditation takes you a lot further than that. So now, if you look at it, even the Newtonian way of looking at the experiments, if you apply in meditation, you will have a great success. Because Newtonian physics says, okay, as a scientist, you want to be very neutral, you want to observe everything. So what does the meditation teaching say? Be an observer, be a non-doer, right? So now you're watching the whole parade of thoughts that makes the whole sansar, all the life alive for you. You are an observer, fine. But little by little, you go into the details, and then after practice and practice, you realize that who is watching all this parade of thoughts. So you are the observer. You become an infinite, a shapeless, sizeless, characterless, nirgun, nirakar, some kind of tattva which is observing this parade of thoughts, right? And then, so you have the capacity of observation. So you fold your observing capacity to yourself. And you start observing how you are, how beautiful you are, even in that fathomless, deep ocean of consciousness. See, the observation starts folding into itself. So far you were the subject observing everything, but now the subject is observing itself. So subject becomes the object. Got my point? So the object and the subject starts merging, and that process of observation is also built in. So the unity of the Christ says, Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit is all one. Me and my Father are the same. Christ said. Observed, observation, and the observer becomes one. And you reach that steady state and you be there. That's the ultimate bliss of realization that there was no observer. There is no observed. There is no observation. There is just one existence. And that state is the state of bliss. So, beautiful experiments have come out and has shown these strike realizations which were shattering our beliefs now. And another thing the quantum physics realized, that not only consciousness exists at the very minutest level, but it communicates continuously in an instant way. So they realized there are particles and there are antiparticles. Now antiparticles we talked about in the past are literally, they have negative mass. Now our belief in the Newtonians, how can you have an object and have no mass? Forget about no mass, negative mass, minus mass. So literally the objects which are present, if you really think about it, they are moving forward in time, right? Because objects are created, they are maintained, and they are destroyed. Every single thing around us has to go through birth, growth, decay, and death. So they are moving forward in time. They found particles which are moving backwards
Really?
in time. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So those are called antiparticles. And these are not just fancy theories. These are proven mathematical facts. Yes, no one can
Can you tell
observe.
again? What would you say? Just now?
These are antiparticles. Antiparticles go back in time. So if you put a particle which is going through the birth, growth, decay, death, they go backwards. Death, decay, growth, and birth. And you merge particles with antiparticles, everything disappears. It's beautiful, but it's there. And the beautiful thing about the particles and antiparticles is they respond to each other. They are the duality. That's the tango, the dance that is happening between particles and antiparticles, is that no matter how far they are separated, and these are experiments which were done, 2 miles, 20 miles, 20,000 miles, 200,000 miles, doesn't matter. Whenever one particle rotates, the antiparticle rotates the other direction. One goes clockwise, another goes anti-clockwise, instantaneously.
Is it that to keep the equilibrium? That's what.
Must be.
No, I'm just talking.
That's from spiritual point of view, that's what makes sense. The Chinese have yin and yang. You saw the symbol? How the yin goes this way, yang goes this way. You must know the symbol, right? Of the Chinese yin and yang. That's the balance that we're talking about. That's the harmony. That's the subject and the object. Whatever you call it. When we realize all these things, that the world is being created, at the same time, world is being annihilated, being destroyed, and the combination, if you neutralize, nothing exists in a grand scheme of things, right? But we don't realize. We see only the creation. We don't see the destruction. But the creation, destruction, if you put everything together, ultimately nothing exists, and everything is just a grand illusion for our benefit, and we just exist. You existed all the time. You never died. You never were born. Even birth and growth and decay and death, all these things is also an illusion. Birth does not exist. Death does not exist. We all exist. And that's the beautiful realization and the final conclusion of quantum physics, that everything is just an existence. And we have other experiments that we're going to talk about to come to that conclusion.
One question.
Yes.
Why to think too much of other side of particle? No need.
It's not a question of thinking.
Yeah.
Scientists don't care about thinking.
Yeah.
They put their brain away. They want to observe the facts. These are the facts which have come up. How do you deny the fact? How do you deny the calculations which are showing that antiparticles do exist? Forget about thinking.
It exists, okay.
They exist.
I also exist. All right.
Right.
But why to go in that deep?
No, but
you're
isn't
not
it
going-
beautiful
No
to
need.
remove your illusion? Because your belief, right? Your belief as it is in the solid particles, right? But if I come and tell you that antiparticles do exist, won't you make you think that that's odd? If all your belief, all your life, somebody comes and, sorry to say you are a male, your strong belief, and somebody says, oh no, you are a female. How would that make you feel? It will start shake your foundation, right? And when the foundation is shaken, the thought journey starts. And that generates an interest. Oh, then maybe what else is out there? Maybe I should explore it further.
Then
That
you
generates your curiosity.
They're going deep. Yeah.
So exactly, instead
Even
of
those-
just accepting the life as it is, by doing this and going into the deep aspects of the spiritual aspects and the quantum physics and all that, it shakes the foundation of your mind, which we've been believing for millions of lives that we've been doing it. You have to come to some point that we have to realize the God. Isn't it beautiful? Now the science is telling us that what you believe is not what it is. There is something more to it. It is, but it is not the way it is that you believe.
There are some fishes, they have both organs, male and
Right?
female.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We all have testosterone. We all have estrogen too. But our belief in one thing does not let us progress any further. You will be born, You will go through all these things, living the dream in this life. Won't you want to wake up someday and realize that this is all dream? Or you will just keep on watching the dream? Then what's the difference between you and billions of other people who keep living the dream, acquiring, holding, fighting, getting upset, getting angry, grief, sorrows?
But
That's
a part
samsara.
of that's a samsara, part of the
If
life.
you accept it.
Yeah.
But Mahavir did not accept.
Yeah.
Buddha did not accept. Christ did not accept.
Oh.
They did something about it. That's why we are here. Otherwise, what's the
So
point?
can we reach on that level?
It's not a question of can we. They all have. What is the difference between you and Buddha? He had the same 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs. He had the same brain. His mind was different than you. So the mind has to be shaken to stir the interest. He showed the way if we follow. If we don't follow, we remain human. We don't become Buddha. So particles and antiparticles proved that something odd is in our thinking. Something is wrong in our thinking. So otherwise, how far we have come. You know, there was a great president of United States said once that whatever needs to be invented has been invented and nothing needs to be done anymore. How wrong was he? And this was 60, 70 years back. I forgot the name of the president who said that.
It smells like that.
What he said? Whatever.
He said that whatever needs to be invented has been invented. There is no need anymore. Now imagine if he had that kind of mind, and look how far we are now. We have iPads and cell phones and numerous possibilities. Come back another in this world 100 years later. Who knows? We'll be flying in the airs ourselves. Who knows? Possibilities are endless. So it's better to have an open mind and try explore all these things and try to learn from it. Then only you start going in that directions. So then came, so the open mind is what we need. You know the story of the king who had no clothes on, right? You remember that
Yeah.
story?
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was one spiritual fakir was taking advantage of everybody, came into the court of a king, and he says that I have spiritual clothes, which is a direct gift from God, and it's very expensive, but would you want to try? And somehow the appearance of the fakir and everything was so appealing, so king believed. So king says, yeah, sure, anything from God would be really good. I would like to try. So he says, but it costs a lot. He says, don't worry about it. I have a lot of money. He says, how much is that? He says, about 100,000 rupees. So fine. So the deal was done. He says, the time came in the